My name is Benjamin Poole, and when I was 23, I gave my life savings to a broker who lost it all. But this taught me an invaluable lesson. I needed to educate myself to make my own financial decisions. Fast forward 20 years, I am no longer living paycheck to paycheck, and I want to share everything I've learned with you. Welcome to Financially Fit. Welcome to Financially Fit. My name is Benjamin Poole, and today I'm going to go over the SQ chart for you. So coming over to the SQ chart, so this is a chart on square or block. What we have here is the weekly time frame. So each one of these individual candles represents 1 week time. So what I'm really liking about this chart is, first off, this parallel channel. So you connect this pivot low with this pivot low, and you draw this line, and it brings us to this pivot low. So now we have 3 points, and then we can drag this up using our parallel channel tool and connect it with this pivot high, and then this pivot high. So as you can see, we've got this beautiful parallel channel on SQ, and it just pierced the 4th hit of this channel. All right, so that's a good thing. So we wanted to pierce, as you can see here, we wanted to pierce a little bit to get everybody who was shorting right here to get out of this trade, so then they can push the stock down. All right, so let's say that it pushes up a little bit higher. This can go up to 84.74. So why that level? So you have this minor gap right at the 84.74 level, which is going to be really strong resistance. Okay, so it's just a small gap fill. However, if you look over here, you've got this pivot top here, and then a kiss of these, this trend line a couple more times. And so this is going to provide you with pretty good resistance. All right, let's say that it says, all right, well, 84.74, I'm going to go ahead and go through that. Well, we have a pretty major gap fill right around this area of 86.21. So you have this gap fill right here, and then you have this green bar candle right here, and then you have this pivot right there. All right, so that is going to be your maximum upside for the SQ chart in the next couple weeks or even month. All right, so if you were going to start a position, you can either wait for the 84.74 level, or if you did decide to get in now, you could get in at this level, and then if it went up 10% higher, you can add to your position, and then ultimately, if it got to this 96.21 area, you can add an additional percentage there. All right, so now on the downside, let me go back. Another thing that I'm looking at in the weekly chart is you've got this time count. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 candles up. So usually we look for 7 candles before we get a pretty big pullback. If we don't get it in 7, we actually wait for around the 9 or 10 candle mark. And then if it does pass that, then we look for around 14. Okay, so that would be a double time count. So can it push up to 84 or the 96 level? Yes, it can, which is why in a swing trading account, we like to average into our positions to keep our stops pretty close. To dollar cost average in and keep our average pretty close to the price that that is currently trading. All right, so that's what I like on the weekly chart pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to the daily chart pattern now and show you what I like in the daily chart pattern. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that there's nothing here. All right, so check this out. Back here, we had positive RSI divergence. Positive RSI divergence means that, hold on one sec, turn on this tool. That means that you have the RSI here and a higher RSI here as the price action is going down. So if the price action is going down and the relative strength index is going up, you have what's called positive RSI divergence. Here we have negative RSI divergence. that means the price action is moving higher and the relative strength is moving lower. So not only do we have our time counts on SQ on the weekly time frame, we also have this RSI divergence on the daily time frame. That, and since about the 13th of December or November, let me double check that. Since the 13th of December, we've had RSI above 70. So we don't use RSI above 70 unless it's been over 2 weeks. And as you can see, from the 13th of December till now, we've had 2 weeks of RSI above 70. So that means that it is really overbought short term, and usually that's an indication that we're going to get a pullback. So combine all those factors, and I think you've got a pretty strong case that this is around the top, or at least short-term top, for the SQ chart, okay? So I really do hope that you guys get as much enjoyment out of watching this as I do. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please do your own research. This is for educational purposes only, and thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time on Financially Fit.